What's up, guys? Today we are going to be reviewing the Sportiva Trango TRK GTX hiking boot. Let's get into it. So I know a lot of you have been asking, what hiking boot do I use throughout my videos and throughout my hikes here in Colorado? I will say before I get into this video that it took me a while to find a pair of hiking boots that really stood up to Colorado's terrain. And this is where we landed here on this Sportiva Trango TRK GTX boot, for now at least. The Sportiva Trango TRK GTX boots are made in both men's and women's sizes. Obviously different colors, but you know, this is a boot that is universal, and this review will apply to both men's and women's. My wife has a pair of these as well and has loved them, so I'll share any feedback that she has throughout the course of this video. In this video, we're going to talk about the pros of this boot, the cons of this boot, and what hiking conditions I would recommend it for, and what type of hiker I would recommend it for. So let's talk about the boot itself for a second. So typically, this will weigh about 20.20 ounces, so just over a pound. The upper here is made of this kind of like polyester mesh, and then it's almost like a plastic that seems to cover most of the outside here all around the boot. So Gore-Tex boot, so which means it's waterproof, as you can see there. And then the soles are a Vibram sole on the bottom, and these do accept crampons, as I've mentioned in other videos. They are not mountaineering boots. They won't give you this strap on the back for the strap-on crampons, but still nice having a boot that accepts them at all. As you can kind of see on the toe here, the toe box has kind of like a climbing shoe feel to it, and similar to the heel as well. So you get that extra kind of grip, which is pretty nice. And then we'll just give you a kind of look here at the inside. Sportiva Trango boot here starts at a US 7.5 and goes all the way up to like a 16 or so. So quite a bit of range in this boot, and they do come in half sizes as well. European sizing typically, but pretty easy to Google, you know, how to find your size. So let's talk about what I look for in a hiking boot. Here in Colorado, I really like to have it waterproof. I really like a higher sole, so this is like a midsole here on the boot. I really like something that can handle all different kinds of conditions. I don't have to have multiple pairs of boots for, you know, different kinds of hikes. So those are kind of the key things that I look for. So let's start with the pros of this boot, and I'll talk about all of these for me. So I've tried a while to find a hiking boot here that has stood up to Colorado's varied hiking terrain, from spring snow to summer scree fields to boulders to ridge scrambles. There's just a lot going on here in terms of terrain. And what I found with other boots that maybe aren't as rugged as these pair is that they tend to rip and really don't last that long, where I've had these pair for solid 2 years now. Definitely some signs of wear to them, but really hold up well to the Colorado terrain so far. Being waterproof is really nice as well, so I really like that feature. And then I do like the toe and heel extra little grip they have on here, because it is nice to have that extra grip when you're hiking up class 4 or 5 terrain, where it just gives you a little bit more peace of mind that your shoe can really stick to the rock. Comfort wise, I've had no problems with these at all. I've worn them for very long days, and don't have any special insoles or anything like that going on in them, and they've been really comfortable for me. And I do love, again, that I've mentioned, they do accept a crampon. Another pro of these boots is that I really didn't find that out of the box there was too much of a break-in time for them. Obviously, they, like any boot, they're going to be a little stiff, but I didn't get any blisters or anything like that when wearing them. I will say that my feet aren't typically prone to getting blisters, but no discomfort wearing these right out the box. So the negatives of this boot, I would say that they're a bit heavy. Both Jackie and I agree that they're not the lightest boot at over 1.5 pounds. They can just feel a little heavy, especially when your legs are starting to get tired on the longer days. But the positive side of that is that, you know, because of they're so stiff, they really can handle those long days, those heavy weight days when you're backpacking. And again, when you're putting your feet through torture on rock fields and scree fields, you really don't feel a lot because of the nice Vibram sole here. The other negative for the La Sportiva boot here would be the price. They're 220 bucks, so not the cheapest pair of boots to pick up, especially if you're just a recreational hiker. You can find them for cheaper online. Sometimes they're on sale, but La Sportiva is pretty good about keeping the same model for years and years and really not changing much except maybe the color from time to time. This red color here is a little harder to find. It's a blue typically. Because they do accept crampons, pretty firm boot. So, you know, there's not a lot of give in this sole here on the boot. But this material here, it is pretty rugged, but it can get a little bit torn up, more so on this side as well. So this, you know, plastic lining that I talked about earlier is really nice, but there is some exposed, I believe this is like a polyester or something like that, that can get a little bit torn up, but you know, no holes or anything like that that I can notice. I've worn these for a long amount of hikes and a lot of mileage as well. So all together holding up pretty well for the conditions. Let's talk about who I recommend the La Sportiva Trango TRK GTX boot for. For me, it would be a hiker who is looking to step up from some of those entry-level boots that are, you know, maybe not holding up well in different terrain. Someone who is looking for a variety of hiking conditions to be dealt with the boots. So backpacking, day hikes, ridge scrambles, class 3, class 4, class 5, really kind of the moderate to advanced hiker, I would say these are really good for. The boot itself, I would never recommend. Everyone's foot is different, so you need to go try them on and make sure they feel good on your foot. They could feel great for me and terrible for you. So I'm not going to recommend the boot, but that would be the conditions or person I would recommend them for. Again, if you're looking to buy this boot, you can go ahead and check the links below to help support the channel and shopping through some of the outdoor retailers or Amazon.com where you can find these boots. That's going to wrap up my review here on the La Sportiva Trango TRK GTX boots. If you own a pair of these boots, I'd love to hear your feedback, so leave those in the comments below. If you don't, go ahead and tell me what your favorite hiking boot is, and maybe I'll pick a pair up and check them out. If you found this gear review helpful, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next video. Please subscribe not to miss any future gear reviews, hike reviews, or hiking related content here in Colorado and beyond. And we'll see you on the next adventure.